When I heard this filmmaker bought the rights to A History of Violence, I said there's no way they're having the staircase scene. And of course, I was right. Chase Leaki here at the Blue Futon reviewing Leo. What's it about? Pretty simple premise. This is an Indian movie that is based off of a history of violent movie, which is basically a guy lives in this mountain town, and you know what? His coffee shop gets ransacked by 5 bad guys, and you know what? One of the bad guys is about to kill his daughter, but he goes freaking ham on them. They all die. But now all of a sudden, people want revenge, and rather than revenge, there's another family that says that they know him, but he's denying it. He's like, I don't know you. I don't know you. And now shenanigans, death will ensue. So, to like this film, I think it's an interesting one because you know how I usually say with a lot of Indian movies, I think the first half is meh, and I enjoy the second half more. This one, I want to say I enjoyed the first half more than the second half. I was fine with all the action set pieces and all that stuff. I was really intrigued by the story of, is it Leo? Is it not Leo? Which, of course, the more you think about it, of course it's going to be this person through in and throughout. But what really didn't work for me was a 40-50-esque car chase scene that went straight CGI that did not look good whatsoever. I mean, when something looks that bad, you realize why couldn't you try to be a little bit more realistic? Make it 10 cars instead of 40, and just make it, just more bombastically real instead of a straight CGI horror fest. But talking about the movie itself, like I said, I do think there is some solid elements to it. I think the story is good. I think I like the surrounding cinematography, the surrounding landscape they decided to do. The small winter mountain town really, really worked. I enjoyed the incorporation of animals, especially the hyena, which I like that one, but then the incorporation of eagle, it kind of took me out of that fight sequence, if you know what I mean, at the very end, where you're kind of following an eagle, you're doing this drone shot, which is pretty cool, but then you purposely add this eagle into it. You're like, come on, do you really need to add this eagle into the shot? And I don't think not. I noticed they used the same camera movements as Vikram. I think that movie came out in 2021, no, 2022, last year. And it's that, Robo arm cam. They decided doing this movie, and it was really fun. But I do think Vikram used it a little bit better because it felt more realistic here. I enjoyed what they did, but you know what? It's still good stuff. I wish that was more because it just feels like the roboticness of it, as well as just the zooming in and out, really is fun overall. Like I said, the story, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this mountain town setting with a family that he's like, I'm not Leo. I am truly not Leo. And I think they do a good job with trying to figure out if it is his Leo or not. Like I said, there are some scenes where I was like, ooh, is that true? Nah, there's no way. Ooh, is it true? Nah, not really. But I'd say the last 30 minutes, it really does you're not questioning it anymore. And I do think if they decided to do it the other way, it would have been more bombastic and oh shit in your face. But they decided to kind of go the safe route through in and throughout. Now, I want to say it's about a 2 hour and 45-minute movie. And like I said, the pacing was pretty solid. This is one of the more solid pacing, Indian movies that were 3 hours, bar none, of the year. I'd say Tiger 3 might have been a little bit more paced, but this one is solidly up there for sure. I have nothing wrong with the actors. I have nothing wrong with the landscape, nothing wrong with the gore. This one, they did push the R rating, some F words, some, heads chopping off, not heads, sorry, legs chopping off, blood, guts, crazy slashes, crazy gunshot wounds. Like, it is there through and throughout, which I find very interesting as well, is when I look at all these different Indian movies that are supposed to be R-rated, some of them go that gore route, some that decide not to. So it makes me wonder if it's regions in India where they have, I want to call it censorship, but how they want to show the violence on screen. So a lot of it, some of it's cartoony, then some of it they try to go more realistic. I think it's different from American movies, because American movies, it is kind of like, the John Wick style where it tries to be realistic. None of the cartoon like Kung Pao into the fist really doesn't exist anymore. But like I said, my big negative would be the ending of the film and that final, I want to call it final car chase sequence. Not good at all. Not good whatsoever. And I do think the story could have been a little bit more fleshed out with some of it, because it is like maybe 3 stories in one. The first one is the family trying to survive. The second one is these village people trying to take revenge on the people he killed. And then the third storyline is this tobacco slash, factory style storyline with his family, is doing something that was doing illegal activities that turns into sacrifices. So you're like, what is going on? And that storyline, what I talked about with the other village people trying to get revenge, completely stops. I mean, about halfway mark, that storyline just dies flat. And you're like, it would have been more fun if that one fleshed out a little bit more and it kept it more contained. But they decided to go on that storyline of who Leo is and this huge gang that controls this factory, which is fine. But if they kept it more in lines of these village people, I think it would have been a better fleshed out movie overall. But Leo was a fun time. I enjoyed the action set piece. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed the landscape. But like I said, there were some story elements at the back half of the film, as well as some CGI galore car chase sequences and some action sequences that really took me out of the movie. And the dance sequence in this one is not bad whatsoever. So Leo will receive a 3.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 70%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So Leo, we have 80% with the critics, 10 of them, 73 with the audience, no critic consensus. The positives, we have a 3 out of 4. We have B pluses, a couple negatives, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10s. But yeah, I mean, I would say, like I said, 70%. It does its job tremendously well when it needs to do it. But when it decides to go that far-fetchedness, nah. 70, 73, 80. Chase Hockey here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing is Bluetontopia. You Bluetonians, thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'm trying not to burp. Something feels like it's stuck in my throat. It's Leo. Leo, a badass.